Hey there, hi, welcome to the channel. I am Garrett and thank you for spending some time with me today because in this video, we are talking all about some of the biggest design mistakes that I see all of the time, but you should never be making. The first one is all about the maintenance of your home. Okay, nobody likes a high maintenance home because I'm not coming over and cleaning it, that's for sure. I don't love shiny materials and specifically shiny floors. There's so many reasons to be against this. It's not even funny. Number one, just stylistically, it's giving glam. It's giving glam. Shiny floors, shiny materials, when everything is reflective, it's giving like, oh, I'm so polished and you know, it's all so perfect. And like, you have to keep up with that though. You have to maintain it, otherwise it looks dirty immediately. It's just like a mirror. If it gets a little dusty, if it gets a smudge on it, we see it immediately. We know, like, we have to clean it often. And when you have like shiny floors in your house, it's a lot of work to maintain that and keep up with it. Like, no. Design trends are moving into a place where we're using more matte-like materials because they just don't show smudges and smears or little grease spots or whatever quite as much as something that's reflective does. And I just don't want to have to clean it all the time and make it look perfect, okay? Like, you know, like if you walk in, if it's a rainy day and you walk in the house, like the floors are, no, cut your losses, give up on it because no, absolutely not. You've got to have like those electric vacuum cleaners, you know, like the little automated ones that go all over the place. If you have shiny floors, if you have shiny floors and you want one of those, check out my Amazon storefront linked in the description box down below, but that's beside the point. I don't love those sorts of high maintenance materials, whether it's on a floor, you could even say on a countertop. Yeah, you're gonna see everything on a shiny material on the countertop. It doesn't matter if you go with a granite, if you go with a marble or something like that, if it's shiny, I personally wouldn't do it. Now, a lot of people have shiny surfaces on their countertops already. That's a place that's kind of okay because you can, you know, wipe your hand on it. You can feel any sort of like crumb or stuck on thing there and it's easier to clean it. So that's okay, but I wouldn't personally choose that for my home. I just like the honed look of like a gorgeous marble in my kitchen. Like, love that for me, love that fantasy for me. And most of the high-end homes I've been in lately have definitely had a lot more matte finishes that feel more natural, that feel more in touch with like organic and nature feeling, like all of that. I think it's a better way to go personally because it's just less maintenance. And the same thing goes for any high maintenance element in your home. I wouldn't do light colored carpets, okay? Trust and believe, it's a design mistake I've made. I know it's like impossible to believe I made a design mistake, but visually the design was stunning. Maintenance wise, it was a problem, mostly because of a naughty little cavalier, but that's beside the point. Right, it shows everything. If it's in a high trafficked area, like a light colored carpet, it's going to look dirty. It's going to look dirty and you can't always clean them. Like, it's not always, you can have carpet cleaners come in if you have a delicate material, or sometimes that is just a stain. You're just not getting it out. And if it's an off-white, you probably can't bleach it. Like, there's so much to consider there. So be sure you're thinking about the maintenance that you have to put into your home and what sort of elements are going to stand up with the use you're giving your space. And that's always something I'm looking out for. So when I'm working with a client, you all know I work with clients on a consultation basis to answer any and all of their design questions or needs. If you wanted to become one of those clients, you could book a one-on-one consultation with me using the link in the description box down below. And you could also book that going to intro.co/GarrettLeChic, where I can look at your space and answer those design questions. But when I'm working with clients, I'm always gonna say, like, here's what you have to think about, here are the options you have to consider, and here is the durability and maintenance factors you have to keep in mind. Also, you may get a surprise cameo from a little cavalier who might pop in, just say hello and beg for a little treat or something, won't they, Arden? The way he's just looking like, who are you talking to? Hilarious, okay. All right, you can stay on my lap. You can sit right there. That's actually so cute. All right, but before you make any of those big design decisions, be sure you consult with a designer like me to get those questions answered. Now, another design mistake I see all of the time that absolutely drives me crazy, that people overlook, is that they think a space is not worthy of great design. They think, oh, I'm renting, I can't do anything here, I can't make it beautiful. They think, oh, well, you know, it's just a random corner. Oh, that's a little niche. Oh, it's just a closet or a hallway. It's too small to do anything with. And it could not be further from the truth. Great design feels all-encompassing, and you want to put in effort into every space. So do not write any corner or area of your home off as not being able to be designed beautifully. Every space is worthy of great design, be it a closet. Okay, I love a good closet detail. paint the closet a color that matches the space, that ties in together with something going on there, add some beautiful baskets into it for storage and organization, and you just took a basic closet that, you know, was just there, and you turned it into something elevated, to a selfish little detail that only you get to see. Even take your closet and redo all of the hangers, make them all match, make them all beautiful. I love a wood hanger in a closet, okay? Like, go to IKEA, get them, super affordable. It makes it feel elevated and high-end and luxurious. And at the end of the day, that's what you want every space to be. Luxury to me is when you put effort in and you're thinking about it. Everything should be that. If you have a random niche in your home, okay, like a lot of houses have those like builder grade drywall niches, whatever, like sometimes it's a cutout, sometimes it's just a little niche. You can do something with it. Maybe you add lighting, maybe you put a piece of sculpture in there, or hang a piece of art in it that fits it proportionally. Also, I love to add in like some sort of built-in detail. Add a little bar, beautiful stone top, go and look for a remnant that'll fit there, stone up the wall, do a floating shelf. All of that can be really cool and elevated, luxury, expensive looking, but not necessarily expensive being. So do not underestimate any space in your home, even if it's just a hallway. I love a good hallway detail. Paint it an interesting color so you have a natural transition, right? A unique color, bring some artwork. That's a place for family photos. Get a beautiful runner. You could have something made. You can maybe find a vintage runner that fits perfectly and then ties in the colors of the walls, all of the spaces off that hallway together, and make it its own feature. Add some really cool pendant lights hanging down in the hallway. Oh, I love that so much. The whole point is, don't underestimate any space in your home, big or small, because every one of them can be beautiful and is deserving of that. It's a design mistake to write something off, be it a hallway, a laundry room, or a linen closet, the walk-in closet in your home. Don't write them off because they can be beautiful. Speaking of beautiful, somebody is here. He wanted to come visit and say hello. Somebody said, oh, did you mention beautiful? Because here I am, the handsome boy. Here he is. There he is. Hi, Cornelius. Everybody wanted to say hello to you. Yes, I know. Would you like to give me your paw? He said no, but you can rub my butt. Okay, love that for me. Hello. Hi. Oh, you're giving me your paw? Thank you. Yes. You're so cute. You're so cute. Oh, I know. Look at this. Look at this bullfrog right here. I know, Arden can't stand it. He's sitting on my husband's lap behind the camera. He said, what about me? What about me? But this is Cornelius' moment. Cornelius is here. Cornelius actually, both Cornelius and Arden went for their annual checkups at the vet, and they said they're both in amazing condition. Cornelius is 9, he'll be 10 in October. And they said, oh, his blood work is perfect, everything about him. He has great movement and mobility. He's a very good boy, aren't you? He said I'd be better if you gave me pets more. Oh, and then your brother came here to steal your attention, didn't you? I know, you want to be the star so bad. You want to be the center of attention, don't you? All right, you two are so cute and so handsome and such good little beasts, but we got to get back to the video. Okay, now that we've had our little puppy dog break, let's get back to the video. Another design mistake I see all of the time that you could fix, okay, anybody could fix, is just not having any artwork at all, having empty or blank walls, and your artwork not matching the proportions of your space. So when I see homes that have no artwork, it's like, why? What's the point of not having it? What was the reason or the decision making? Because it looks like a house that's maybe just staged for sale. And I almost always see this in a home that is either, in the middle of being decorated. Okay, like I can give you that. Like you haven't gotten to that phase yet, all right? Personally, I like to kind of start with artwork, but that's just me. But homes that are like really contemporary or super modern, it's like, we don't need artwork because the architecture speaks or whatever. And no, it doesn't. Well, it is actually speaking, but it's not saying what you think it's saying. You need to have artwork in your home because artwork defines the style of a space. It creates that overwhelming, that like atmospheric feel in a space. It also tells us something about the person that lives there, and it makes your home feel personal and like it's your house, like you live there. And everything should not be covered in art. Like we do need a little bit of negative space. Now, I also think it's important to have art that is proportionate to the wall it's on. And what that means is basically, if you have a narrow wall, don't put a piece of artwork that fills the entire wall in. Don't put something that's more horizontally oriented instead of vertically oriented because the wall needs something more vertical than horizontal. Like, just make sure it makes sense on the wall it's on and it fits appropriately. I also like to hang my artwork all at the same height or in line with an architectural feature. Like, it might be a window jamb or the top of a door trim, depending on your ceiling height. You can also use mirrors in place of artwork. If you're like, hey, you know what, I have an empty wall here, what do I put here? I don't have anything else going on. Like, you could add a mirror into that space. I think you limit yourself to maybe like 1 or 2 mirrors in a space. Like in my living room here, I have a large, like almost floor length mirror that's mounted on the wall because it's kind of like last looks before you leave the house. Like, you can look at yourself in the mirror, and one over the fireplace. That feels natural to me. They're not across from each other. You can't see one mirror from another, so you don't get that like hallway-like effect happening, but you can have mirrors in a space. If you're gonna put mirrors in the space, though, they need to be perfectly proportionate on the walls. Like, there's not a big excuse for them not to be, because mirrors, there's not, you know, like shape to them that is defined by the artwork itself. Like, it's just a reflective surface. Like, it needs to be the correct proportions on a wall. Have artwork, have mirrors, fill the space in with something. Don't give us big blank empty walls all over. And also just remember, if you're gonna do a big mirror, if you're gonna do like a floor mirror or a standing mirror, you have it fastened to the wall correctly, preferably by a professional, so that there's no risk of it falling down or being knocked over. That's always an issue you have to think about. So just be mindful of it. And same thing goes for large pieces of artwork. Sometimes they need additional support than just like a basic little nail on the wall. So make sure you're actually working with them so they're secured in place. Now, I think artwork is a basic thing that people need to have in their home, be it family photos, gorgeous pieces of artwork, whatever. Another basic thing you could do that is going to improve your home and your life and help you is just to hit the subscribe button and join us. Become a part of our GarrettLeChic family. I would absolutely love to have you here. Join our community of design lovers. Just hit that subscribe button, go ahead and comment down below, share with us that you subscribe so we can thank you for becoming a part of our GarrettLeChic family. I also would greatly appreciate if everyone watching could give this video a like. Another design mistake I see made all of the time is that people try to update their home, but they are cheap about it. And there's so many different areas you could look at this and address it or like talk about it in. Let's just talk about a few of them that I see. I live in Las Vegas, and here we love like a builder community, okay? They're throwing them up all of the time and people resell their homes. And they try to do like these mini updates to them that just don't look very good, that just don't look elevated in the way they think it is, and it's almost a waste to update it. And a lot of times what I see is people will take their builder grade countertops and then just add a backsplash, but not remove the splash back. That to me immediately says, patch job. There's absolutely no reason for it. Like, it's not serving you anything, it's not doing anything extra. Take that off and put your backsplash all the way to the countertop level. Right there at that surface, like just countertop to backsplash. Personally, I like to do a backsplash that either matches the countertops or maybe matches the walls. So if you have white walls in your house, a white backsplash isn't gonna hurt you. It probably won't help you either, just aesthetically and visually, but it's not bad. If you have that builder grade granite that's speckled, it's really hard to find a match for that. So maybe that's a place you just put a white backsplash on. But otherwise, you can pull some of the tones from your countertop and use them for the backsplash. That's always a really good thing to think about. Another design mistake I see that is just like a cheap update people try and do that doesn't look good is when they take out the builder grade carpet. There are some areas in your home that are just going to be tiled if you're going with a builder grade home, right? Like the front door, the bathrooms, and the kitchen will all have tile, as where everything else will probably be carpet. Well, they'll take up the carpet and put in like a vinyl plank or a laminate, maybe an engineered, but then they don't take up the tile in the other areas. And so it just doesn't make sense, or the transition isn't smooth for them both to be hard surface materials. Like, it's just weird in that way. You don't want to do that because it just looks like a half done job that now needs to be corrected. I also see it all of the time with flooring and cabinetry. Sometimes they'll like take up the tile and it's great and it looks good, or maybe they'll even just go over tile. If the whole ground floor is tile, they'll just go over it, where the flooring does not match the cabinetry. And it's like, the tones are just completely different. The tones don't have a relationship to each other. I love wood, like a natural wood grain, because there's a variation in the tones within it. Usually you'll have something that's like a dark brown or a red, and then you'll have something a little warmer that you can pull from, but not all flooring materials have that. They're not all the same exact tone, so not every wood tone matches or goes together perfectly. And then we have something that looks and feels really weird, and it just looks like you added new floors to the dated cabinetry, but now I have to fix this. So I don't like when someone tries to do a partial update and they're not giving consideration to what that dated material is. That's how you have to choose and make updates to a home that maybe has some dated features to it. And you can do that through the tones and colors you're picking, but also sometimes you have to pull back a little bit in order to elevate or move forwards. The next design mistake I see made all of the time that needs to just go, it needs to be done with, is homes with no color. I see all of the time homes that have no color. And I think it's okay to be color adverse, that's all right. But at the very least, you need to have contrast in your home, right? You need to give us something interesting to look at. You can have fun mixing some neutral spaces in with some more colorful ones. So in my living room here, I have a blue sofa, some blue accents, some blue artwork and pieces like that, and it works. It's enough color that I feel like the space is not just a big white box, even though the walls are all white. Adding in some color is okay. Paint one of the rooms a color, just so it's a little fun, just so it's a little different. Add some variation in tone, some layering. I love a gradient tone or color scheme in a space where, you know, you have a mix of the same color together in different tones. 10 out of 10, love it, like that monochromatic vibe, cool. But adding in contrast is also a really good way to elevate your home. So if you have that all white space, you know, bring in some other colors, bring in some other neutral tones even, that's fine. Like white and gray. Gray is a color people often overlook. As a designer, I love, but I would never just do white and gray in a space. I would do white and gray and camel, because I think that's cool. I think it's really elevated. I think it looks luxurious and interesting, unexpected. And there's contrast there, but all of these are neutral tones. Same thing goes for, you know, a space that's black and white. I don't like black and white. Okay, I think it's a little boring. I think it's just too high contrast. So I'm gonna look at black and white and adding in some other tones. Maybe I will add in a gray, maybe I will add in a camel. Or do you wanna embrace another color? I'm cool with anything. I like green, I like pink. You can do purple really well, but purple can be very overwhelming very quick, and purple is very hard to find an elevated, like luxurious looking purple. They sometimes can look a little juvenile, so that's kind of difficult. Same thing with green. Green has a lot of color shift. Use two different wood tones in an all neutral space and it can make it feel really interesting and like you put some thought into it, like you put a lot of effort into it. White and cream. That's enough of a contrast that it feels interesting and different. It's not just all of the same white, all of everywhere. We need something interesting. So don't be afraid to add color or contrast to your home to really bring in some personality. Well, there you have it, everyone. I hope you enjoyed this video and hanging out with me today. I feel like we had such a good little chit chat that I'd love to keep going with it. So be sure you check out this video right here, all about things you're doing in your house that are making it look cheap. You can avoid them, you can change them, you can fix them, make it look luxury without the luxury price tag. So I will see you over there.